In 6th grade, an ordinary basketball practice began the start of a nightmare for Levi Drueke. Shooting pains up his legs and a loss of feeling in his feet, which advanced up to his waist, led to a frantic visit to the chiropractor. Upon being seen, Drueke and his family were quickly pointed towards the emergency room. After a quick MRI, his family received the diagnosis, Idiopathic Transverse Myelitis. Levi would spend the next night in the ICU and a week paralyzed from the waist down at the Children's Hospital in Omaha. The doctors weren't sure what Drueke's road to recovery looked like. It was uncertain whether a full recovery was possible or if he would ever be able to participate in sports again. He was transferred to Madonna Rehabilitation Hospital in Lincoln, where he spent the next 4 weeks reteaching his body everything from walking to sitting in a chair.
I remember they taught me how to transfer myself from my wheelchair to my bed. They just taught me how to adjust my life to being in a wheelchair at first. And as things started picking up, I remember just sitting down in a chair and standing up in a chair and sitting down, and we do that 10 times. And
Barbie Jackson, Levi's mother, said his smile and positivity radiated through all the rough days and hardships.
I don't know anybody more positive than Levi. Even when we were in Children's and he couldn't walk and he still couldn't even move his toes. Oh my goodness, his smile is what kept everybody, this is going to be okay. Every little thing, like when he started being able to move his toes, it was huge to him, like, oh mom, like we're doing this, it's coming back. I'm going to be able to play sports again. I'm going to be able to run again. And
within a year of the diagnosis, Drueke worked up his strength to begin participating in sports once again. Baseball came first, followed by football, and then wrestling the following year. In high school, Drueke wrestled for O'Neill for his first 3 seasons before transferring to NELIGH Oakdale for his final year. He reached state twice with O'Neill, going 1-2 in his sophomore effort and falling in the heartbreak rounds, just 1 win shy of the podium in his junior year. But he remained focused. The losses never deterred Drueke from his ultimate target. After setting his goals at the beginning of high school, he began writing them on sticky notes and pasting them to his bathroom mirror. Those notes, he says, helped remind him of his target every morning.
But if you get up and you look at something like that and you look at your goals, and at the top there's a goal that says state champion, and next to it it says Jesus loves you, state champion.
After adjusting from the end of football season for his senior wrestling campaign, the wins and momentum began piling on shortly after Christmas, and a path towards the top of the podium came within reach. At the state tournament, Drueke entered as the top seed of the Class D 160-pound weight class with a 46-4 season record. And as the final seconds ticked down on the championship match, with the scoreboard 11-2 in Drueke's favor, the emotions and the weight of the moment began to set in.
Finally, there was relief, there was satisfaction, just so many amazing feelings went through my head, like a dream that I've had since I was watching wrestling state championships in the living room with my dad. It's been a goal ever since then. And finally to be out there, and it just unfolded right there before me. I envisioned it all year long. I kept telling myself that if my goal wasn't to be a state champion, then I was selling myself short.
After winning, he immediately pointed to his legs. The legs he just a few years earlier had no control of, that he wasn't sure he would ever be fully capable of using again. It was those legs that he used to walk towards this moment and walk to the top of the podium.
After winning that match, that's just what went into my head. I've never celebrated, really. I've never put any attention. I've never wanted people to know, this kid was paralyzed, then they would look at me differently. I've wanted to be looked at as everybody else.
that was his way of telling the world, I didn't let this defeat me. I defeated it. We're here. Look at me. I did it. And that was the first thing he said to me when he came off the mat. I was there waiting for him, and he came up and put his arms around me, and he just kept saying, I did it. I did it, Mom. He went from not being able to walk to winning a state title, and that's just phenomenal. Finally getting a gold medal and accomplishing my dreams, pointing at my legs was just, I did it, I beat it, and I just accomplished everything I'd ever wanted to accomplish.
From NELIGH, Peyton Thomas for News Channel Nebraska.